Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of Hollywood After Dark, and I bet you weren't expecting this topic to be on the menu tonight. Oh, lordy, lordy. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has made a couple comments recently about he might have been involved in some dirty videos. We're going to be talking about that. Never mind Black Adam, my initial thoughts, and my review is now live. We'll be talking about that. Anything else that comes up, maybe Kevin Spacey and the fate of the Metoo movement. My God, it's all over the place tonight, guys. Hollywood After Dark, you never know what's going to happen. Let's fucking go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? I felt like I would be on camera for this one. I think tonight's going to be interesting. I think tonight's going to be quite fascinating because it's been an interesting day. It has been, at least for me. I finally ventured out to the cinema. I finally got to experience pure cinema paradiso. I got to see Black Adam. I watched that today. Of course, a lot of you guys watch that. Now, just to start off, because Reed here did drop a $5 super chat kicking off the night. Thank you for that one, Reed. Says, today would have been Tom Petty's birthday. What's your favorite song if you had to choose? Oh, man. God. Oh, Tom Petty has a lot of hits. You know what I mean? Oh, God. I got to remember the names of them. Like, I know them, but let me see. Tom Petty hits. It's, let's see. I mean, obviously, Mary Jane's Last Dance, Free Fallin', I Won't Back Down. You know, there's a lot of good. I would probably say Free Falling is my personal favorite. I mean, obviously, Won't Back Down and Mary Jane's Last Dance. Those are all great as well. But I'd have to go Free Fallin' just because, like, it feels like a summer jam, and I used to listen to a lot of him back then. Also, the Stream Elements bot is running. Funny now how that's all of a sudden working. It wasn't working there before. So they say, Matt is gracing us with his presence. Yes, I am. Well, the reason why, to be fair, the reason why I'm a little bit late tonight is I got home from doing my delivery driving, and I had to get my review of Black Adam up. It is currently up on Podio Commentary. Be sure to check that one out. It's a decent review. I also put up a review today of The School for Good and Evil. It's been a movie watching day for me. I'm feeling pretty good about that. Knocked out 2 new films in one day and got the reviews up and went and did delivery driving. And I'm here live streaming. I'm just a fucking workaholic, you guys. That's how I roll. But tonight is going to be a good one. I'm expecting you guys to have having a good one here. Let's see. Ralph's Double Tits here says, drink Zoa on the special day. I'm not a big Zoa fan. Not a big Zoa fan. It really activates the diabetes. Anyway, so a lot of people out there, I think, saw Black Adam today. I put up my initial thoughts of it, which took me like so many times to record outside of the theater. I don't know why. Like, it's, I hate vlogging in public. I don't like doing anything like that in public. So I was trying to like get around people, and I just felt really weird doing that. But I did enjoy, look, I can talk about the movie. We can talk about that a little bit if you guys want to go. Vince here for $5, man. Thank you. Says, let's fucking go. Girlfriend agreed to let me find a different job. Amazon says delivered on the P.O. box. One sec. I forgot I let it over here. Vince sent me Army of Darkness Collector's Edition 4K Blu-ray. Oh, look at that. Look, I don't know if you guys can see this. You guys probably can't. But like, if it's, come on. There we go. Come on. Focus on it. Look at all of those special features. Look at that, right? Disc 1, theatrical cut 4K. Disc 2 is the Blu-ray, the theatrical. I mean, and a lot of stuff. There's like so many special features. Thank you very much, Vince, for this one. I'm looking forward to diving on in. But I had to go get it today. Yeah, I checked it. I made sure to get to the post office before going and seeing the movie. Very excited for that one there. So I appreciate your support on that one. Ralph's Double Tits here says, saw VHS 99 today, said it was amazing. I'll have to check that one out. I definitely want to watch more stuff this week. What I figure I'm going to do with Podio Commentary, I was thinking about it tonight. So for Podio Commentary, I'll do reviews. I'll do reviews of movies on there. And then I'll try to set a schedule for doing more of the long form conversations. because I really do like those as well. I do like diving in. You know what? If I got a good groove going on, I can make it work. And that is exactly what I am attempting to do. Vince here says, I wish it was a Steelbook, bro. Listen, man, I appreciate the thought. I appreciate you sending me Army of Darkness in 4K. Steelbook, no Steelbook, dude. The thought is what counts. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Spherical Manor says, Matt's turning into the would you look at that meme guy. I don't know quite who that guy is. But you know what, man? I end up, what can I say? What can I say? I you know what? I have a lot of different expressions, so to speak. You know, so, all right, let me ask, I know some of you guys haven't seen Black Adam yet. And some of you guys have seen Black Adam yet. I am curious here. What is it you guys thought about the movie, right? What is it you guys thought about it just right off the bat? Top, you know, non-spoiler conversations on this one, because, you know, I don't want to, I mean, shit, look, here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. Do you all know what's happening with the end credit sequence of that movie? Do you all know that that is the only thing I think people are going to be talking about after the fact? One of the things I didn't say in my review that I should have was that I think one of the best parts of the film was actually watching the Mario Brothers teaser in front of it. I know that sounds weird, but I was, you know, like that teaser on screen looks amazing. It's not that Black Adam is a bad movie. It's not. It's just, it's generic. The best way to describe the movie is that it's generic. And if you feel you have to go see it in order to get another movie, a very specific sequel that you've been waiting for 9.5 years almost, then that might be the reason to go and do that. You know, and that's actually, and I'll tell you this right now, guys, the saddest thing about that is that what it comes across like is that the movie can't hold on its own, because no one is going to be talking about the movie from the perspective of the movie. They're going to be talking about the movie from what is at the very end of that movie. And that is the biggest problem. That is the biggest problem. Zachary here says, I plan to see Black Adam next weekend, but in your opinion, should I wait until it's on HBO Max? Okay, so there's a couple of factors on that one. If you feel like you're desperate to go and see a movie in the theater, then I would argue, yes, go see it. It's worth the time, all right? Like, it's 2 hours and 5 minutes. It's pretty briskly paced. If you've watched the marketing, you've seen a lot of the movie, like minus only a couple scenes. Like, I mean that literally, like minus only a couple little key things. Otherwise, you've seen the movie. Like that's the high points of it, at least. Like I said, minus a couple little things. And what really sucks is that a movie's only really as good as its bad guy. And that was bad. They didn't even nail it properly. Like, I don't understand, like, something happened with the last act of that movie that just, it makes it kind of fall apart. But I will say what really saves it, what I really enjoyed was the Justice Society. I like the actors. I like their camaraderie. I liked their interactions. I enjoyed them interacting and kind of learning to work with Black Adam and him kind of learning to work with them and things like that. It was a little confusing how quickly Black Adam adapted to, you know, the language and certain terminologies and certain things like that. But maybe it's because he's imbued with the power of all these like gods, you know, that he got from the wizards. Maybe that's a thing. I don't know. He's a super smart, I guess. I don't quite know. I thought that was like, all right. But I mean, if you're, other than that, if you're not interested, if the marketing didn't grab you and you already know what's at the end and you, whatever, then you could wait for HBO Max. Really. I know that sounds sad to say. Reed here for 5 bones. Thanks, buddy. Says also today in the morning, I'll be posting more info about my project, Drawing Route 66, about the story and what it will be. Cool, man. Looking forward to hearing more about that. Ralph's Double Tits here says that happened with Venom 2. It did. Venom 2 did really well because of the post credit, and then it dived after its second weekend. But I'll tell you this, the theater I was at wasn't very packed. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't very packed. I did see it at 3 p.m. though. And when the movie was over half the audience got up and walked out. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, and I almost wanted to be like, hey, don't leave. Like, you guys are going to want to stay to see what's going on. But no, they noped the hell out. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you the biggest key indicator of this movie for probably normies was there was a guy about 3 seats down from me who was legitimately on his phone during the story beats. And he would put his phone down when there was action. And so in the first half of the movie, when there's a lot of action, he was watching it. But as it started to slow down a little bit and started to get more into the story and they had like their talking head segments, he was just back on his phone, you know? And it didn't bother me. And there was no one directly behind him. So he was okay. But like, I'm laughing my ass off. I'm like, this guy was not interested in any of the story. That is how it failed to grip and grab the general public, you know? And so that's going to be the hurdle this thing has to cover. Benson here said the movie won't hit 500 million worldwide. Benson, did you see it yet? Oh, he did this here. Watched it last night. Paint by numbers movie, which has nothing that will make you want to watch it again. Yeah, I've always said the worst thing a movie can be is mediocre. The worst thing a movie can be is mediocre. Because if it's bad, you can still find something terrible about it to kind of laugh at. Right? If it's great, you can rewatch it. Even bad movies have rewatchability factors for like camp or whatever. But a mediocre movie is one that you don't want to go back to. And I said this in my review, comparatively, like I would much rather go back. I didn't say this directly, but I paraphrased this. I would much rather watch Morbius again because at least the villain is interesting. Say what you will about Morbius as a whole. Matt Smith did a great job in Morbius. He was a lot of fun to watch. The villain here, man, you know that the lack of a villain, really the lack of a good villain, especially one who gets I can't even say I don't want to spoil it. I can't say what it is. I can't see what it is, man. It's just he does something and you're like, how, you know, like there should have been a better build up to one thing. I don't want to say what it is. That's the problem. All right. H-Bar's here for $2. Just says the Rick. That's right. The Rick. Let's see. Nick here says people have fawned over the first Doctor Strange movie where admittedly the villains were weak as fuck. Dormammu was just a gag. I want to stick around, but if you're giving spoilers, I haven't seen it. I'm not giving any spoilers. I'm not spoiling anything. Dormammu was an actual threat though. Like Dormammu frightened the Ancient One. Dormammu frightened everybody else. They knew who Dormammu was. Dormammu was outplayed by Doctor Strange. And I won't say any more than that. But no, Dormammu actually had some weight behind him. This one, there's a story there, by the way. There's a little bit of a story there that they don't. I don't know, man. They just don't. I don't know. Cork Driver here says, based on what I've been hearing about this movie, were I to go to the cinema this weekend, I'd probably see the Banshee of Inisherin rather than Black Adam. I mean, like if you like, Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson, sure. Yeah, there you go. I mean, if you like those guys. And that's from the guy who did 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, right? That was a good movie. Asher says, I hated the kid actor in the movie. He was fine until the last act. The kid was fine I liked the kid until the last act. That you know what I'm talking about. Oh my God. H. Bar here says, normies hate talking in films. They do. Yeah, they do. Was it Howard the Duck bad? No, because Howard the Duck was good. It's cookie cutter. It's banal. It's milquetoast. There's nothing in the movie that makes you think that there's anything really at stake. They do try to deliver on that. And it is better directed than Jungle Cruise. That is true. It's way more entertaining than Jungle Cruise. The visuals were really good. Noah Centineo and Quintessa Swindell were great. Aldous Hodge was a bit of a stick in the mud, but that was kind of his whole role. But he was good. Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate was great as per usual. Like, The Rock was even pretty decent. Like, he had a couple of emotional beats here and there that he had to work for that I thought were okay. But for the most part, he's just kind of like, imagine, okay, the best way to describe the character interaction between the young boy and The Rock is Arnie and Edward Furlong in Terminator 2. That is the best way to describe them. That relationship, right? That's them. To a T. That just came to me right now. And if you've seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's the thing. Let's see. JP says, I watched it yesterday. Thought the second half is so bad. I laughed through and through. I mean, it got like the first half was like the stuff with the intergang was pretty cool. But again, to that point, I say, you've seen it before. You've seen it before. Quicksilver and X-Men. You've seen it before. You know, like it's cool, but it's also like, okay, I've seen this. But here's the thing. I have heard that they cut the movie down from R rating to PG-13. You give me an R-rated cut of that movie, we'll talk. You'll give me an R-rated cut of that movie and we'll talk. Not to say that it's going to make the story any better, because it won't, but you give me more violence and we'll talk. I think that's fair. I think that's what I said in my review. I'm like, I don't hate The Rock, dude. This is the movie. It's not just The Rock. It is a sum of its parts. You can't sit there and say, you hate The Rock. I don't hate The Rock, Rodney. This movie is not the great. It's very paint by numbers. It's very much, it's a movie you've seen before. A whole bunch of things. Thomas asking, JSA gets a lot of attention. I mean, like, sure. I mean, like, they're like the co-leads of the film, all things considered. JP says Black Adam had no creative visuals. The borrow scene frame. No. See, I'm gonna push back on that one. Visually, like there were a lot of shots in the movie, and I might be roboting right now, and I apologize. It's again StreamYard. There's a lot of bit in the movie where like the visuals are very comic book-esque. People have kind of equated that to Zack Snyder. They've kind of said like, it's a Zack Snyder thing, you know, but in reality, it's like, I think very kind of comic booky. So, but I really, really, really enjoyed those shots because those will make excellent screen grabs for thumbnails. I mean, like, my God, they're clear, they're crisp in 4K. It's going to look amazing. So the uncle was the best part of the movie. I liked the uncle. Yeah, the uncle was great. The uncle was funny. He was really good. Fandom Menace L's here says Edward Furlong gave one of the greatest child actor performances ever. Also Jafar or Sabak. Man, neither. I would probably go for Sabak only because I think there could be an interesting story around that character. But like, the dude is not intimidating of an actor, and they put him in these villain roles where it's like Jafar is just a piece of shit, you know? And not that great. But I do agree. I like Dr. Fate quite a bit. He was pretty good. Rational here says, I wish Intergang was working for LexCorp. I mean, yeah, I know they would have worked for somebody. See, Zachary here says, I watched John Campia's Out of the Theater review. He said it was a bad movie, but he'd go see it again. Yeah, I saw it too. I watched it too. I didn't really think that it was like, you know, they're talking about the kid ain't the greatest. They're talking about, you know, like, oh, well, this, like, you know, like the action bits were cool, but the story was terrible. You know what I mean? Like, it's an easily entertained sort of thing. Like, you watch it, you turn your brain off, you move on. That's it. That is legitimately what Black Adam is. That is it. Spherical Man here says, careful, Matt, you might start to release the R-rated cut movement. I'm just saying, they've shot it, you know. But I'll tell you what it needed more of. What it needed more of was the end credit sequence. That would have made it a lot better. Ray here says, be sure to like the stream. Thank you, Ray. Appreciate that. Let's see. Joseph versus Black Adam greater than Love and Thunder, Multiverse of Matt. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Not at all. What in the fuck? Dude, say what you will about Multiverse of Madness and Love and Thunder. They both have their faults. They're both way more visually stunning, visually creative. They have way better scores. They have way better direction. They got way better acting, way better action. They've got actual stakes, at least in Doctor Strange. And Thor Love and Thunder, you have greater character development. No. Bad, Joseph. Bad. No. Hell no. That is a take. That is a bad fucking take, dude. That's a bad take. Holy shit. You know, just saying. Multiverse of Madness, Wanda, and Love and... Oh my God. Now you're just trolling. Right here says Black Adam is a rewatch for me. I'm not saying don't rewatch it. I'm just saying, like, I didn't find it to be interesting enough to want to go back and rewatch. Like, not in cinemas. If somebody put it on, I would watch it. Like, I wouldn't feel bad. Like, all right, I can watch this, you know. But I do want to see an R-rated cut. H. Ricer says, I'm sure it's better than Cringe and Thunder. No, Thor Love and Thunder was actually a good movie. I'm sorry. Like, you all have bad opinions on Thor Love and Thunder, but it was actually, like, from a character perspective, there was a lot going on with that movie. But again, it's like, sometimes I think, you know what, maybe I just read into movies too much, but that's kind of how I see it. Should Black Adam 2 have a new director? It should definitely have new script writers and actual things at stake. I think that's kind of the thing there. So you have that, like, right. Rational says here, I like Black Adam as much as I don't even fucking know how can you like Black Adam as much as Shazam? Again, Shazam had emotional stakes. It had character growth. It had the birth of the Shazam family. It had an interesting villain as well as interesting villains. It had a very big meets Goonies kind of mid 1980s aesthetic to it. Black Adam is seriously paint by numbers. Nothing about that movie you haven't seen at other places. The boardroom scene in Shazam is legit Gremlins-esque horror in a fucking kids movie, dude. There is so much more to Shazam, so much more layered and interesting filmmaking and storytelling elements than there is in Black Adam. You want to tell me that the emotional beat of Billy going and finding out that his mother's alive and that she wants nothing to do with him, she never wanted him, which is why she abandoned him as a child, causing him all that pain and trauma and stress, and having that been such a cathartic, eye-opening moment for him to realize what he needs to step into, versus like, I'm Black Adam. I'm the man in black. I say catchphrases, because that's actually, by the way, that is a bit of a plot point in the movie. Man, you guys are just up on the rock fucking dick like crazy. Holy shit. Do I think they're going to order Black Adam 2? I don't know. If the movie does over 500 million, probably. I mean, Shazam had a budget of 100 million, did 366 worldwide, gave it a sequel. I could see The Rock. I could see the movie doing well on home video in foreign markets. We'll have to wait and see what happens. I don't know what the prediction's going to be. Thursday night previews tonight. They had a lot. You know, the Thursday night previews are going to roll into Friday, and they had a lot of previews. Like, I mean, my theater had like fucking 15 showings from 3 until 10. So the movie is playing in a lot of theaters. Jordan here says, still not rushing for to go see Black Adam. Might wait for streaming. Yeah. I mean, you want to. If you want to, you know, like Sphere Commander says, best meme I saw of Thor Love and Thunder today was Jim Halpert meme saying that it was a comedy. Not every MCU needs to be mind blowing and universe advancing. Paraphrasing that, but I should, show me that one, because I kind of agree. But I feel like as far as like Thor's arc that we got in Thor Ragnarok and Infinity War and Endgame are really good, and I thought that it had a natural extension into Thor Love and Thunder, obviously then building past that into Thor 5 and what we're going to get with that. I feel that the Thor character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe has had the most character advancement. And they've given him the most opportunity to really kind of build upon that. Him and Tony, really, followed then by Cap. But really, I would argue Thor probably even above Tony, all things considered. So, no Kavari, Love and Thunder was not terrible. Wasn't great. Wasn't great. Wasn't terrible. Wasn't terrible. Benson here says, my screen is only half full. Yeah, mine was like maybe like 15 people. Yeah, I can't do much about that right now. StreamYard's being a dick. Goes back and forth. Taylor here says, Thor, Love and Thunder was a good story, but had bad story problems, the wrong soundtrack and the wrong tone. The soundtrack, I'll give you. I think the tone was okay. It did have, well, the thing is, I think Bob Chapek ordered both Multiverse of Madness and Thor, Love and Thunder to be at the 2-hour mark. That's what I think happened. And as a result of that, it just ended up kind of failing. So, all right. Fandom NSL here says, I wonder how this movie Black Adam would have been if David F. Sandberg worked on it. The writer of this movie worked on the road trip and due date. Oh, wow. He worked on, the writer did what? The road trip, or the road chip. Is that an Alvin and the Chipmunks movie? Is that number 4? Right? Which one was Chipwreck? That was 3 or 4. So I do agree that Thor 5 needs another director. Yes. 100%. 100%. Okay. Sometimes you take a gig and it doesn't always work out the way you want it to. All right. You know, money is money. They made a, you know, I don't think they're going to have like deep philosophical conversations and fucking Alvin and the Chipmunks. Okay. The road chip is the Chipmunk story. I mean, yeah. What am I drinking? I am drinking a Waterloo spiced apple sparkling water. It's pretty good. I don't drink, so I don't do that. Sometimes people just want to get paid. Yeah. I mean, I like getting paid. You know, that's how it goes. Drink Zoa. I can't, dude. I've tried. I had Zoa once. It was okay, but it really triggered my diabetes. So it's that. I didn't really care for it at that particular point. So unfortunately, there is that. But all right, why don't we take a quick look here at the whole Rock porn star stuff. All right. So first off here, what we've got, this is pretty funny. This actually happened the other day. The Rock is a bit of a freak, guys. He's a bit of a freak. So he went on the Kelly Clarkson show with the cast of Black Adam, because, you know, that's the market they want to reach. Actually, you know, Midwestern housewives that grew up watching Kelly Clarkson are going to be like, my goodness, I have the vapors just looking at the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I bet he's hard like a rock too, girls. Woo! You know. Anyway, he gets on there and he talks about a sex tape joke with his wife. So the not for safe work joke happened while The Rock and his co-stars were promoting Black Adam. Clarkson began asking the cast a series of questions provided by fans on Twitter. The first question was innocent enough, asking Johnson what the DC antihero's favorite movie from the actor's filmography would be. Things took an unexpected turn as the Black Adam star gave a risque response to the fan question, saying, I made a movie with my wife one time. Oh, sorry. No, never mind. And then, you know, he clearly, look here, apparently Kelly Clarkson like lost her shit over that, like had a whole thing. And I was kind of laughing my ass off at that one too, because like, you know, he made a joke about like, he's on the Kelly Clarkson show and she's like, now Rock, what's the favorite movie you've been in, sugar? And he's all like, I made this one with my wife. Yeah. Oh, I've said too much. Oh, no. Like, but see, the funny thing is you hear that and you're like, oh my God, like that's edgy for this particular audience. But again, it makes sense because he's trying to use the sex appeal from all those, the demographic of people who watch the Kelly Clarkson show are probably not the people in this audience that would go see these movies. These are people who want comic book films. They want explosions. What he was doing there was effectively triggering explosions in panties. You know, drowning, like so wet they could drown a toddler in them, sort of thing. Like that's what he's trying to do. And he makes the comment and you're just like, Kelly Clarkson didn't get it at first. But to me, it's pretty funny that was actually something That like he actually said that. But it happened on Kelly Clarkson. So like, it's not going to really make its way that far around social media. And then of course he has this little bit here too. This is a very quick little bit here. This is him when he was being interviewed by Para-like Official, and he was asked a question, and he said this is a response.
What was your first acting gig?
My first acting gig? College, porn.
Okay. Oh, wow. All
hey.
Right. Hey.
This is when it all ends.
This is when we don't know what the next question is. What was your first
So think about that. Now, this is from 6 hours ago. A lot of people watching it, everything else, really funny. He admits, he's like, oh yeah, I mean, he's probably joking. He's probably kidding, college porno, but he's trying to play to a very specific audience of people. And that to me is like, again, I really think, and I kind of agree with Joseph here. It says Black Adam, according to IMDb, has the highest review scores among the female demographic, which is odd for a movie like this. I'd like to take you back to the summer of 2001. No, 2003. Vin Diesel, coming off of the highly successful Fast and Furious, decided to follow it up by starting another action franchise called Triple X, in which case he played an extreme sports guy named Xander Cage, who ends up working for Sam Jackson for the United States government, becoming a secret agent. And the joke I made 19 years ago when that movie came out was that the vast majority of people we had at the drive-in going to see that movie were women. And I consistently made the joke that we're going to have to clean up with a mop at the end of the entire shift. But it was true. During the time we had that movie, the vast majority of our patrons happened to be women coming to watch Vin Diesel. Now, the thing is, look, and I think we need to kind of like really go back and like have a conversation about this, because it doesn't get brought up enough, I think, in like actual conversations when it comes to like sexual education. So I'm just going to be blunt. I'm just going to be Emily Blunt for a moment here and say, women, they get horny too. Women do. Women get horny. Women masturbate. Women want to have sex. Women want to do all the same things. They want to gush and splooge and just like guys do, but we do as a society. We very much kind of like, we don't really ever like express it. So what I'm saying here is that like, yeah, women will come out. Remember when Tatum's Magic came out? The night of Magic happened to be in Santa Barbara, California, which is a college town. And we were walking up and down actually College Avenue or College Street, whatever it was. As the movie theater got out, it was a one-screen theater, and they were showing Magic Mike, and nothing but like college girls and like older women came out of this theater, right? Nothing but older women and college girls piled out of this theater. And that was absolutely the key course of action. Like that was what made me go, yeah, no, this movie is going to be like, it's going to do well with women, because it's hitting them. It's hitting them in that erogenous zone. It's bringing them in. It's making them go like, you know what I mean? Like it's doing that. It happens. Right? I'm just saying, to rock your $2. What's your beef with me? No beef, but it's also not you, but thank you very much for the $2. Spooky Lens here says, I love a good gush and splooge. Yeah, there you go. There you go. But it's true, man. It's so true. It is so true. It's just not something that we ever really talk about. You know what I mean? Like, it's not something we ever really discuss, but it's absolutely true. So these movies are very much. Sorry, Jordan here says that's my favorite yogurt flavor, the Gush and Splooge. Oh man. Yeah, you got me on that one. Oh my God. That is just, I can't I can't. That's good. That's really good. Fandom Menace L's here says, I like the movie, but I'm stealing a quote from Legal Eagle here by saying, it's like someone pulled out a cliche dictionary, flipped to a random page, and then threw those words on a script and made a comic book movie. Yes. Yes, it's very true. Let's see here. Dalton says, those women probably went to learn the anatomy of the male body. I don't see a big deal. They went there to maybe go see a big deal, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right, man. There you go. Let's see here. Spherical Man here says, come on, Dwayne. You're a millionaire. You can give Matt more than $2. Give Matty here $250,000. Yeah, if The Rock gave me $250,000, I'd be a fan. Let's see. Zachary here says, I'd say these comments are your fault, but I know you're proud of this. I am proud of this. I am proud of this, man. 100%. And Spooky here says, she gets it. All right, great. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Vin Frost here says, explains why Taylor Lautner was so popular during the Twilight movies. I got a story about that, by the way. So the very first time Twilight was at Comic-Con was for New Moon in the summer of 2009. And my friends and I were not happy about this because Twilight's terrible. It's a god-awful book series. It promotes, abusive, toxic relationships but it's all the rage with the girls at the time. But like Twilight fans were like camping out to watch this for days. So when we get in there, I got drunk like while we're waiting in line to get in. Because back then it was a lot easier to get into Hall H. Now it's a fucking nightmare. But we go in there, we sit down. The very first presentation panel of the day was Twilight New Moon. So they brought out the cast and everything, and they showed a couple clips from the movie. And the second clip that they showed was this interaction between Bella and Jacob. And like she falls and gets hurt or something. And he's like, Bella, I got you. And he like pulls off his shirt and it's just like washboard abs and, whatever glistening in the fucking northwestern sun, I guess. And like, you just hear like all of these girls hit like peak sexual maturity instantly. We were in the San Diego Bay, but it somehow smelled like the ocean, if you know what I'm trying to say. Like, there was a lot going on in that moment, but it's true. Taylor Lautner very, very, very much brought that out of some women, and sometimes that happens. Joseph here says, Black Adam is like Taco Bell. Really enjoyable, but it's not fine dining. Yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. JP here says, that's takeoff shirt scene, women screaming over it. Yeah, that's the thing. They did that. Fandom Menace Elzer says, another thing to take away from Black Adam is that more JSA and more Viola Davis is Waller, please. Yeah, 100%. I loved all those guys. They were great. Reed here brings up Beatlemania. That's true. Beatlemania was nuts, man. Like nuts. The King's Portal says, the sad part is we were in our late 20s. Oh, when that happened in 2009, I was 27. So yeah, I was like, yeah, it's okay. Jordan here says, when my mom was a manager at Burger King in 2010, she saw a huge amount of teen girls asking for Jacob Twilight toys. Well, yeah, that same year at Comic-Con 2009, they had Team Edward and Team Jacob crowns presented by Burger King. I got one. I turned it inside out and I just scribbled on there, no Twilight. And I was just rocking it. I was just to the side, walking through Comic-Con, like just, yeah, fuck Twilight. And I had like people run up to me and give me hugs and they're just like, yeah, fuck Twilight. And even Haley Bennett, she's an actress. She was in like Music and Lyrics. She was in the movie Swallow. She was in the Magnificent Seven remake. She was in The Equalizer. She's been in a bunch of stuff. And she was actually outside smoking a cigarette when I was walking by, and her and I actually she commented on the Crown. So I ended up talking with Haley Bennett for a couple minutes about that, and everyone seemed to really be anti-Twilight, but it's there. I wonder, Benson here asking, I wonder what they use the toys for. Benson, we don't talk about such things, good sir. You're British, Benson. You have to be very, very posh. It's very inappropriate to bring up Benson. But what's the deal with your prime minister? Anyway, I don't know. But I thought that was really funny when it comes to the Black Adam stuff there. So, so, you know, you gotta love that kind of crap, right? Because that stuff, look, that stuff's all funny. That is all funny stuff. But what's really interesting is just today has been kind of wild because of also the whole thing with Kevin Spacey. The fact that Kevin Spacey is cleared of all the charges, like that to me is nuts, because I don't know what the fuck that means for the future. Okay, so let's bring up the article here real quick. Saying here, Kevin Spacey found not liable in Anthony Rapp's $40 million sexual misconduct lawsuit. And yeah, like, I mean, look, here's what you guys got to remember about fucking Kevin Spacey. Is Kevin Spacey was the third person accused of Metoo 5 years ago. First, it was Harvey Weinstein. That was a big expose, right? With Ronan Farrow. Then the next day, it was Andy Signore got yeeted. Then the day after that, it was Kevin Spacey. Now, Andy ends up falling through the cracks to most normal people who don't know what kind of piece of shit that he is. But Kevin Spacey was accused by a lot of people, and he has been able to beat practically every charge that's been thrown at him in the last 5 years, even going as far as in some cases, I think 2 witnesses now have died. I know one at least, but maybe a second one has actually died. So Dalton here says, Kevin Spacey's my favorite actor of all time. He's really touched me. Oh my God. Dude, no. Oh, no, buddy, no. H Bar is here for $5. Thank you. Says, redo House of Cards last season. I know it won't happen though. You know, I don't know what's going to happen with that. Probably nothing. But, you know, first Johnny Depp and now Kevin Spacey. We're going to start seeing these guys coming back into the fold more frequently. So let's dive into this here. It says that as the verdict is read, a face mask Spacey lowered his head. Oh, no, sorry. I messed up here. Updated with more details. Okay. The jury in Anthony Rapp's $40 million sexual misconduct lawsuit against Kevin Spacey has found the 2-time Oscar winner not liable for damages. They deliberated for only an hour plus after 8 days of testimony. That means if they deliberated for only an hour, that tells me, and I am no legal mind, I'm pretty much a dumbass, but that does tell me that Anthony Rapp did, like, either he did a piss poor job defending his case, or Spacey just had that popularity. You know what I mean? Like, it's so weird. So as the verdict was read, a face mask Spacey lowered his head and then appeared to wipe away tears. Moments later, he stood, turned and exchanged hugs with his lawyers and then his manager, Evan Lowenstein. Rapp, seated with his attorneys, stared straight ahead. Addressing the crowd outside of Manhattan courtroom, Rapp lawyer Richard Steigman said the jury spoke. Anthony told his truth. We respect the jury's verdict, but it doesn't change his truth. Later, Spacey attorney Jennifer Keller told the crowd, this was a highly intelligent, highly educated jury. I think 11 of 12 were college grads. Most had graduate degrees. They're very, very bright people, and they could see right through this. She added, Mr. Spacey is deeply grateful for the jury system and for this jury in particular. And then, of course, Spacey walked through the crowd without saying anything, got the SUV and drove away. So going on to say, jurors had spent combined 3 hours today listening to the side's attorneys give for their closing arguments. The prosecution summarized its case first, with Steigman telling jurors that his client told the truth consistently over time about being sexually assaulted by the Oscar winner in 1986, even when that truth was messy and didn't always help his case. He said Spacey's only defense at trial was to accuse Rapp of carrying on a 35-year crusade against a fellow actor based on a lie that has had conveniently shifting motives over the years. From romantic jealousy to professional envy to gay rage to self-promotion, none of which Spacey's lawyers ever proved. That, I mean, like, you can make those claims, but yeah, you got to back it up. That's my take on it, right? But anyway, saying Rapp cooked up the lie out of thin air was, in Steigman's words, a defense to a lawsuit, nothing more, nothing less. Because if you're going to call a guy a liar, then you got to give him a motive. I mean, okay. That's a load of shit. Sorry, that's a load of shit. Let me explain why. We live, and I'm not confusing, like, I'm not trying to sit there and say that Anthony Rapp is lying or whatever. What I'm saying is that I know first fucking hand what it's like to deal with people who made up absolute terrible lies about me for no motive given on a reason, just because they wanted to join in on the shit flinging. They wanted either, you know, I mean, maybe you could argue the attention is the motive. I don't know, but still, like, I know people just come out of the woodworks and said shit that other people fucking believed. So, you know, I mean, that's kind of the whole thing though, right? It's like, I don't know. I think it's kind of bullshit. Anyway, Jess here for $2 says, so the anti-white male drama most likely end? No. I don't know about that at all. Spherical Man says, what does it mean, Matt? It means we'll be getting the best Lex Luthor after Rosenbaum shows up in the Flash. Dude, they ain't bringing Spacey back as Lex Luthor, dog. Although, I mean, like, it could take away from the Ezra drama, right? It could absolutely take away for the Ezra drama. But Cloud here says, I can't even imagine how Rapp is feeling right now. He's probably bummed, but you know, he's working actor. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. You know, I'm just saying it's kind of like you've got, you know, Andy Signor was proven to have not done it. He proved his case and he won. Here they went before a jury of peers in a civil court, not criminal, but civil trial. And he was found not liable for damages in a civil trial of where the preponderance for evidence is so different than a criminal trial. It's way lesser. So, I mean, I don't know what they saw. I don't know what the juror saw over the 8 days, but if they deliberated for like an hour, they had already made up their fucking mind, guys. If they only deliberated for an hour, they'd made up their mind. You got it. I mean, come on. They had already gone in there and they made up their mind. Now, whether or not Spacey is like intimidated them, I have no idea. There's crazy. You know, I'm just saying, it's like, it's so crazy to think about because this is the shit that goes on. Now, okay, in her closing argument, Keller hammered away at the contradicting recollections of Rapp and Spacey, saying that the gist of the Star Trek Discovery's actor's allegations are due to his 35-year vendetta against the defendant, saying there's no evidence that the sexual misconduct took place and plenty of evidence that it didn't. Kelly began her closing statement by showing jurors a photo of the studio apartment that Spacey occupied in 1986. She emphasized that as Spacey's lawyers had throughout the trial, that there was no separate bedroom. Rapp had said before that Spacey came on to him when he was watching television away from the party, and at one point, he looked through a crack in the bedroom door and noticed that all the party guests had left. His story depends on the existence of a bedroom. That's the stubborn fact the plaintiff can't get away from. If you're a 14-year-old boy and you're not going to be asked about the details. She went as far as to call the Manhattan Department floor plan the star witness in the case. I mean, I remember his original accusations against Kevin Spacey. And yeah, I remember him being in a separate room and that being where the alleged assault took place. I remember him saying that, like he was on the bed and Spacey came on in and did what he did allegedly. So if that was a studio apartment back in 1986 that did not actually have any kind of bedroom, that is very much going to be a very interesting part of it. So Vin Frost asks, what does this mean for the Me Too movement? Well, I mean, look, I would argue Me Too has largely been inactive. I don't want to say dead, but largely inactive. There's not really, like, you know, it was big in 2017, 2018, 2019. And then like with the pandemic, it kind of dropped off. You still get some people accused of misconduct. And oftentimes when they're accused of misconduct, they do get released from their contracts or whatever. Like in the case of Jeff, was it Jeff Gertz? Not Jeff Gertzman. The dad from the Goldbergs, right? You know, like they got him on misconduct, but his misconduct was him just saying naughty words around kids, which he shouldn't have done. You know, I mean, like there's, what was it? Anna Faris came out yesterday and said that Ivan Reitman slapped her ass on the set of my super ex-girlfriend or whatever the hell that movie is, you know, and he's got no way to defend himself. He's been dead now for a couple of years or for a year or something like that. So it's Garland, Jeff Garland. Thank you, Spherical Man. You know, you've got other cases, right? Danny Masterson right now is currently on trial for 3 assaults. And in many instances with this particular story, this is almost like the last big one to come out outside of Harvey Weinstein. So if Danny Masterson ends up getting away with this, if he ends up getting acquitted by a jury of his peers and he ends up not going to jail, I would largely argue that the Me Too movement is effectively dead. And Harvey Weinstein is probably like, I might be able to get away. I might be able, you know, and I don't want that. I don't want Harvey Weinstein to get away. I mean, I think there's enough credible evidence against Harvey Weinstein, but we cannot get away from the fact, and I mean this legitimately, we cannot get away from the fact that what you've got is a situation, and as sad as this is to say, what you have is a situation where you have got a movement of people that came out in rapid succession in 2017 and 2018 and just started bombarding all of these accusations, and they all got a bunch of attention and they all ended up like having some impact. The biggest one being Aziz Ansari. Aziz Ansari got Me Too'd because he had a bad date. Like literally because he had a bad date. He had just won the Emmy for Master of None season 2. Netflix had greenlit season 3. He was like on top of the fucking world. Then this babe.net article comes out accusing him of a bad date effectively, where they tried to frame it like he, you know, sexually assaulted this woman who, as far as I recall, willfully gave him 2 blowjobs during when they were hanging out at his place. And it cost him everything. Literally cost him everything. And then that website is gone now. Babe.net, that was its claim to fame. It's gone now. And Aziz, like, he directed Master of None season 3 for the most part, but he wasn't in any of it. He hasn't really starred in anything in a long time. He's finally getting back on with his directorial debut with that Bill Murray movie, and then Bill Murray gets into it by being a dick and doing something he shouldn't have done, and that's going to reflect poorly on Aziz. I would argue in many ways, yes. Plushy here says cancel culture is real. Look, I'm a liberal, I'm a lefty, I'm a progressive. Anyone who says cancel culture isn't real is full of shit. 100% they're deflecting. Cancel culture is absolutely real, but it's a social condition. Cancel culture exists on all sides. We've seen this in multiple ways. We've seen this many, many, many times. Cancel culture is real. It's life destroying. And it all boils down to how the media reacts to it. If it bleeds, it leads. If there's blood in the water, people will run with it. And again, this is something that I know firsthand. I fucked up 4 years ago. Paid a price. You guys all know that. But when my shit came out and it was bad, it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing is what it was. But it was embarrassing. And people jumped on it. People who didn't like me jumped on it. Like I said, people make shit up. They took old stories that I have told and they turned them into ways to try to claim that I assaulted children, which I never did. So I understand the concept of what cancel culture is, you know, not as big as these celebrities, but just in my own little microcosm of it. I get it. And it's real. And I push back on even my lefty friends that try to claim that it's not real. It's absolutely real. And I think it's wildly disingenuous of them to say that. I think it's wildly disingenuous of them to act like it doesn't exist, because it's a talking point that prominent leftists don't want to acknowledge that their side is way more guilty of it than the right. Because when the right wingers come out and they do actual bad things like anti-Semitism, racism, bigotry, sexism, it gets almost applauded, rewarded, because it plays into that base. The problem that happens with the left is that the left comes out and they treat it like it is like a moral impurity. Like it is a wart that needs to be carved off of the carcass or whatever. It's gangrenous. They this need to get rid of it without ever really taking into account if it is something that would need to be carved off, or it could be treated, or it could be discussed, or it could be talked about. That's the biggest fucking problem. That's the biggest problem with this shit, is that the left wants to vilify everyone because in many instances, they're self-righteous as fuck. They are. And the older I get, the more I see it, especially in the age of social media. Twitter has done more to damage the fabric of who we are. Facebook has done more to damage the fabric of who we are. YouTube has done a lot to damage the fabric of who we are by amplifying how bad we are. Make no mistake about that. It amplifies how bad we are. We've always been like this. This is nothing new. We do want to hold people accountable, but people do it in ways now that is so far beyond what they need to do. Look at yesterday. Hamada's gone, and people are actively applauding this man losing his job. They're happy. They're like, ha, 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 ha. You're fucking unemployed. And it's like, dude, he's a fucking millionaire. But like, you're happy that this guy's out of a job because he wasn't for keeping with the old set of fucking movies. The old actors that were in these old movies that had been disastrous for the studio. All because you feel a certain way about a fucking actor. Yes, Reddit can get very toxic. Read, very toxic. Ashura here says, both sides are the same. No one is special left or right. It's all tribal. Yep, 100% correct. Jess here says, social media was a mistake. Yeah. Twitter is better than Reddit. No, now Twitter is not. For a while there was. Look at the Violent Acres situation. That was an interesting one way back in the day. Real quick here, Jess, for $2. Thank you, buddy. I just want to make sure I didn't miss that. Harvey Weinstein was the only villain Metoo had. He wasn't the only villain, but he was the biggest, and he's still the biggest. Still. So, anyway, here's the other part of this as well that I want to kind of quickly look up. And that's Kevin Spacey. Let's see if that's in this article here. Hold on, maybe it is. Nope. All right. So a while back, Kevin Spacey just had to, is this one? Sorry, I'm trying to find the, okay, here we go. So was it last year? No, earlier this year, Kevin Spacey had to fine, here we go. Had to fine, pay $31 million in damages over House of Cards firing sexual misconduct, confirms judge. So, saying here that Kevin Spacey must pay House of Cards producer MRC nearly $31 million for alleged sexual misconduct behind the scenes of the Netflix show. A judge ruled today saying that was not even a close call. So, Spacey, now 63, was cut from the series after allegations surfaced that he sexually preyed on young men. These accusations, which included the alleged groping of a production assistant, caused MRC to conduct an investigation and ultimately terminate his acting and producing contracts. So my question, though, is with this thing having just come out recently, are we in a place right now where we I'm trying to think, sorry, I got distracted for a second, but like, is Kevin going to have to pay that? Because that, it's one of those things. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that one. I think the whole thing's crazy. Jeffrey Epstein was a huge one taken down as well. I mean, Jeffrey Epstein, though, but I don't know. I still think Jeffrey Epstein's alive. I know that sounds weird to say, but I still do. H-Barts here says, for $2, man, thank you. Says, did Amber Heard hurt the Me Too movement? I mean, Amber Heard, okay, so I would say Amber Heard damaged some of the credibility of it, but it also happened so long ago that it damaged her more specifically than it damaged the movement. The movement, like, it's been kind of dormant. If I recall, like, Kathleen Kennedy and a few other high-ranking execs were on the board of like the Time's Up movement, the Time's Up group. They raised like, I think $20 million in funding to back lawsuits against those who might have committed sexual misconduct. I don't really remember hearing much out of that afterward. And I don't know what happened. Something probably happened with it. I have no idea. Top of my head. But there's that. Now, okay, Ashura says, Metoo failed when Hollywood defended Joe Biden. I mean, there's allegations against Joe Biden. You know, there are, but again, nothing is stuck. There's allegations against Donald Trump that haven't really stuck, but one of them now is kind of chugging along. The E. Jean Carroll case. If you thought she was the woman, she claimed Trump like grabbed her and like, you know, forced himself on her. And she actually, I think, was able to like get a DNA sample of his recently or something. It's not often talked about. It's not often talked about at all. That case, but it gets brought up occasionally, and she's still plugging along at that thing. So, okay, Andrew Dunbar here says the CEO of Time's Up movement was caught advising Andrew Cuomo during his harassment scandal. Oh my God. Oh my God. Dude, what? I didn't realize that. Oh, wow. Oh, Ashura asking thoughts on Kanye conned into buying Parler, who was owned by Candace Owens and her husband. Are they setting him up to fail? Well, look, here's the thing with Parler. You know, Parler, for the most part, is just like it's been bad. So, I forget who said it, but it is something with. I know we're off topic here. Thursday, there's not too. We'll probably wrap up here pretty soon. I got to be up early, but what? There's not conservative social media doesn't really have a place to thrive if no liberals are there, right? Conservative social media doesn't necessarily have the same kind of ferocious echo chamber that the liberals do, because the liberals are smug and they like to prove that they're right. They do. I get like that myself, you know, and they like to battle conservatives on social media, and conservatives love to fight liberals on social media. When you take away one or the other, you are literally suffocating the fire, because if no one can fight the other side, then they fight themselves. But the thing is, though, fighting themselves only goes so far, and it's not as much fun. It's just not as much fun. So that's why the people on Parler and the people on Gab and the people on True Social and Getter, I think is another one. They all still have Twitter accounts. They all still have Facebook accounts, and they're all still very politically activated and engaged on those platforms. Kanye buying Parler says to me that he thinks he's going to be able to build that up into a brand, probably similar to how Jay-Z tried to do with Tidal, to get in on the streaming stuff, which didn't necessarily work. Tidal's done okay, but hasn't been that great. Let's see here. H-Press for $5, thanks, buddy, says both are garbage, but Trump or DeSantis, who is more dangerous? DeSantis is way more dangerous. Oh, yeah. DeSantis is way more dangerous. The thing is, like, DeSantis is like Trump, but savvy. He knows how to say the right things to engage with the right audience. He knows how to come out and be like, we're going to fight back against the wokies. That's kind of what it is. Sorry, nerdy. It went off, man. It went off. I know. You want movies and not real world stuff. I get you, man. I get you. But they say politics are downstream from culture. And we're talking about culture and how culture impacts what we watch and what we see and things like that. But, let's see. Andrew here says, speaking as a conservative, these conservative social media sites have been largely unsuccessful. Very much so, because there's no value there. There's no value there, right? Like, I mean, here, I'll tell you guys this. I'll tell you, you know who had it right? None of you are going to believe me, but I'm telling you guys the truth here. Google fucking Plus had it right. Yeah, it did. It did. It had the functionality of Facebook groups put into a very kind of Twitter-like environment. I mean, like, dude, like, oh my God, just like, it was actually like, it had very good things about it. but it couldn't compete with Twitter at the time, and nobody wanted to adopt it. Even though, like, if YouTube would have stuck with it, Google would have stuck with it, integrating it into, if they would have integrated it into YouTube better, I think more people would have been on board. But I think Google Plus was actually really good. And if they would have stuck with it, it would have been better. That's my hot tech take of the night. That's my hot tech take. Google Plus is good. This is here. It says Pro Jared was the only one that came back with evidence showing his canceling was bullshit. Yeah, he did, man. And everyone jumped on Pro Jared too. Jesus, I did not want to see that man's penis. H. Bart's here says Google Plus. I remember the backlash to that. I remember it had group calls. It did. It really did. And a lot of the Hangouts when it migrated into YouTube, and then they got rid of Hangouts a couple of years back. And then StreamYard was like, hey, we're here. And I've been using StreamYard ever since. And I love StreamYard despite some of its flaws. I still love it. You know, it's worth an investment every year. I enjoy being able to talk with you guys and everything else and have it to be very easy to use. I still wish it had some other features and shit. But ultimately, there's all that. Ralph Stubble Tizzer says, dude had a hog. I mean, I wouldn't call it a hog. I mean, you know, I didn't really spend that much time admiring Pro Jared's dick. But you want to talk about who had a fucking hog, dude. All right. Fucking Hunter Biden. Baby's arm holding an apple. You know what I mean? Is fucking call that dude tripod. That thing was massive. Almost impressive, to be fair. Anyway, Winfrost here says, so who's ready for Twitter to become the Wild West once Elon Musk buys it? He's going to get rid of 75% of Twitter's 7,500 workforce. Man, it's just fucking, you know what? I'm okay with that. You know what? Like maybe I'll finally get verified on Twitter. I don't know. Dragon Man here says, if Google would have pushed Plus hard during the Facebook revolt, then it might have lasted longer. I agree with you. If they would have used it in a way, what I don't get, again, it's a kind of unrelated tech situation. WordPress bought Tumblr for like cheap, like I think like 6 million or something, bought Tumblr. Because once Tumblr X'd out porno, dude, it just fucking went downhill from there. I don't think Elon Musk is going to get rid of porno. But who knows? Maybe he will. Who knows? But either way, he's going to get rid of the bots. That's going to be very interesting. He's probably going to shut down Twitter API, man. But it is what it is. There we go. We mentioned the porn. We mentioned the corn bots, and the corn bots show up. Let's see. H. Bart's here says, I watched Ben Shapiro Rings of Power finale review and wanted to claw my face off because of pure frustration with that helium sucking fuck. Yeah, all right. Man, that's pretty good. Anyway, you know, you guys have had some good comments tonight, man. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. I'm happy. I think my dirty sense of humor is rubbing off on a lot of you. Oh man. I broke it. You know what's funny is last night before bed I was on Reddit, and I follow the Lord of the Rings on Prime subreddit, and they were talking about their favorite quotes from the show, and there's some beautiful writing in the Rings of Power. There's some really beautiful writing in that show. Some of the lines of dialogue just like they really hit you deep when you stop and think about it, like when you really just like pay attention. It's good shit. But I will say this though. So last night before going to bed, I was laying in bed. I was playing the Division 2, and then like there was a server maintenance bullshit. Like, all right, you know, we were talking last night about watching cartoons. I just happened to kind of jump over to Amazon Prime to see what was there, and I came across the Legend of Vox Machina. the Critical Role animated show. Ended up watching about half of the first season last night. Watched about 4 episodes because they're short episodes. And I enjoyed it. I don't think it was necessarily like super funny. I know they tried to make it funny, but I thought that it was definitely entertaining. You know, I thought it was definitely entertaining, and I'm looking forward to finishing it up and everything else. That's pretty cool. So there's all that. Let's see. Shura here says, but Shapiro was right on She-Hulk. Pure garbage. Completely disagree. That was great. I really liked She-Hulk all the way through. It was really good. This is here. It says, I was made a YouTube partner even though I've never got any money from them. So this is, if you were doing that between like 2015 and 2018, they didn't even like care. Back when I first started, the reason why I used the Mundane Matt channel was because I had created it in 2009 and it was kind of grandfathered in to the partnership program. So when I'm like, I want to make YouTube content and make money, that was how I did it. It was right off the bat. So as a result of that, I ended up really having that, that particular, that's why I did it. But then they, and it was like kind of the wild, wild west between 2015, 2016, 2017. But then the apocalypse happened in 2017 and that just, they just shut it down. So you probably got in because they were just opening it up to everybody. They didn't care. Yeah, I saw half of it. Yeah. I saw half of Vox Machina. Good stuff. Vin Frost here says I should watch Castlevania. Yeah, I want to watch that. I want to watch Arcane. I do want to watch those and everything else. So I hear lots of good thing here. Taylor agrees, says Castlevania is excellent. Yeah, no, it's Adi Shankar. And I like the guy's work, man. I thought he did a really solid job with that Power Rangers fan film from 2017 or 2016 that pissed off Saban. Oh my God. Oh man, he pissed him off so bad with that. It was so funny. Reed here says, I'm going to watch the Rings of Power finale tomorrow. Dude, go watch it, man. Don't read spoilers, dude. Rings of Power is legit good. I fucking love that goddamn show. I can't wait to watch more. Sure here says Castlevania is better than Vox Machina. Yeah, it looks better than Vox Machina. I like the raunchiness factor of Vox Machina pretty well. I do. It's very much my sense of humor. It's very much my sense of humor, and I appreciate that quite a bit. Tony asking, am I caught up on Andor? No, I'm not. I know. You guys give me so much shit when I fucking don't watch this stuff. But that's why I'm here, guys. Anyway, H-Parts, I feel $5. Thanks, buddy. Says from 2016 till about COVID. I don't know why that's funny. I was a conservative, but now I'm middle and lean left. I was once a subscriber to Chowda and Ben Shapiro. He's talking about Steven Crowder. Yeah, I hear you, dude. Here's the thing, man. Is I was never a conservative, but I kind of maybe in my chuddier days back then. I don't even think I was ever super mega chud, but I had chudly opinions, and maybe I still do, but I like to argue. So I like to fight people on topics. So I think that's always a lot of fun. But the thing with that is though, is it's easy to do, especially when you're seeking confirmation bias. And Steven Crowder is not funny, but he can be entertaining. So that's disarming. And Ben Shapiro talks really fast and with the helium voice, and he talks with confidence. And when a person talks with confidence, you believe them faster. It's just the way we are. If person has confidence, you're like, oh, that guy gets it. And I think I was actually talking about that last night too. But anyway, what I mean by that is it's crazy. It's just shit like that. Anyway, sorry, hold on here. I got blanked up. But yeah, I hear you, dude. I'm glad you don't watch Chowda anymore. But because Steven Crowder sucks so hard. That whole bullshit, fuck that guy so mad. I would like to here's the thing, is I would actually like to debate Ben Shapiro. I think it would be an interesting conversation. because it would be emotionless. It would just be like raw data and who can talk the fastest. You know, like that's kind of where I'm at with it. But anyway, you guys, okay, sure. Asking what's the link to the Power Rangers fan movie? Let me see here. Power Rangers 2016 fan film starring, what is it? Starring, come on, man. Hold on here. It's got James Vanderbeek in it, right? James Vanderbeek. Okay, let me see if I can find this one here. Oh, right. Okay, so it's yeah, here we go. I got it. Oops. I don't want to, I mean, we could technically watch, you know, we'll watch this on another night. All right, we'll do this on another night because I do have to kind of wrap it up here in a few. But here you go. Sure, I'm dropping the link there in the chat. So there's that. Yeah, and Katie Sackhoff is in it as well. All right, Darth Scipio here says, hey, Matt, how you and H-Barts watch Rings of Power and come to a completely different conclusion than Neurotic and Yellow Flash. It's like you watch a different show. Yeah, it's called paying attention. I love it. It's a really interesting, revolutionary idea, Darth. It's like, look, I know I might be overhyping it a little bit, and that's my bad, right? I don't want to do that. But man, when you watch something, right? When you watch a show or a movie, this is what I've learned. Okay, just hear me out. And I take my phone and I turn it off and I put it away. And I sit there, I put my headphones on and I look at my television and I just watch. And I listen and I remember what things were said and I remember who characters are and I remember what their arcs are. And I remember what their dialogue could be. And I remember what their interactions and what their motivations are. And I watch for 45 minutes or so. And I just allow myself to be engulfed by what I'm viewing because I go into it wanting to experience the story that I'm being told. I go into it with an open mind, an open heart, an open soul, so I can see what they're trying to show to me. It's very interesting. It's amazing. It's spiritually awakening. Right? But like, that's the whole thing is when you watch a show and you go into it with that chip on your shoulder, like you want for it to be shit, you're going to look for all the little things. Now, you could argue that I've done the same thing with Black Adam because I'm like critical of it, but the things I'm but I do want to talk about the things that I like about Black Adam. Again, I like the performances of most of the cast. I like the visual effects. I think the visual effects were great. I think the action scenes were good. I think a lot of the dialogue in between the JSA and Black Adam, I really enjoyed that. The interpersonal scenes I really enjoyed. There were some good moments in the movie that caught me by surprise, but a lot of it was shit I had seen before. That's just the reality of it. The Henry Cavill bit was cool. But I'd already seen it. You know what I mean? Like it's not, but I go in there wanting it to be good. I go in there hoping it will be good, hoping that my preconceived notions are wrong. And sometimes I think what we have to do as viewers of content, as purveyors of these stories, is that we have to actually sit down and allow ourselves to go on a journey that these people are trying to take us on. And that is how we get to experience that. But when you go into it, and you're just going to go and shit all over it because you want to be a dick on the internet, it doesn't matter if it's a 10 out of 10 best thing ever, literally sucks your dick through the television. You're going to find something to hate about it, and then you're going to harp on it because you're feeding into hatred. That's what it is. That's all it is. H. Bart's here says, I went in expecting to hate Rings of Power because the trailers were bad, but I loved it a lot. I feel like to really enjoy it, you need to know some lore. Here's the thing. I don't even know that much fucking lore, H. Bart's. I don't know. All I know is the shit that they referred to was shit you know from the fucking movies. Right? Was shit you know from the movies. The callbacks from the films with the characters that you know. I don't know the lore. I've never read the books. I don't know the lore. But I've seen the movies. And they tied into the movies. You know? Hold on. How can you be made a YouTube partner back in 2003? YouTube didn't even launch until 2005. Nate here says Yellow Flash watches closely, looking for ways to be offended by wokeness. Exactly. Yellow Flash is one of the biggest dickless morons on this goddamn platform. Fuck him. Fuck EFAP. Fuck Mecha Random. Fuck Nerdrotic. Fuck Geeks and Gamers. Fuck Ryan Kinnell. Fuck The Quartering. Fuck all of these chuds that do not understand storytelling or filmmaking or how the two interweave, how they are combined, how they are joined at the hip, and how that is how many of us experience the stories that we do. Fuck them for being so vastly disingenuous that they feel the need to destroy because they in no way can create. They in no way can create. They don't create anything. They literally produce nothing of value except anger and hatred and division and mistrust. That's it. That's what they do. That's what they do. That's all they can do. Nerdrotic is perpetually bitchy about everything he watches. Yeah. Because here's the thing with Nerdrotic, and I've said this before, he's addicted to it. He's addicted to it. He's got a highly addictive personality. He's addicted to it because he knows he gets the dopamine hit from that shit. It's more powerful to him than the fucking meth ever was, to be fair. So, Critical Drinker is GOAT. No, he's not. No, not at all, dude. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Jesus Christ. Look, just call him the drinker. Whatever's critical about him has now gone out the fucking window. Jesus. Hell no, dude. Hell no. Are any of these chuds any good? I mean, look, there are people out there that like, I don't know. I don't want to blanket like attack anybody. It sounds like I am, but I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe Robert Meyer Burnett. He's chuddy. He's chuddy. He's chuddy. I think we can agree at this point he's chuddy. I don't think he's a bad guy, but he hangs out with objectively bad people because they share the same sentiment he does, which is just, it's true. Like, it's true. So, there's that. Anyway, Jarbo's on fire. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Like, didn't he self-publish his books, Ralph? Didn't the Critical Drinker self-publish his books? I mean, look, good for him for finishing it and getting it across the finish line. You know what I mean? Good. And I won't ever knock that. If any of these assholes ever want to go make a fucking movie, good for them for finishing it and getting it across the finish line. And I would actually like to see it. I would. That's 100% real. Like 100% being truthful. I'd absolutely, if these guys made a movie or something like that, I'd absolutely like to see it. All right. So, Tony here asking, do you know if they still talk to Cameron Pasha? Yes. He's still on Doomcock, I think, and maybe Midnight's Edge. Rational would know. He follows those guys. I don't follow those guys. He just DMs me shit. I don't know though. But anyway, it is 11:52 p.m. guys. It is now time for me to kind of wind it down because it's time to go to bed. Hold on here. Nerdrotic is still butthurt because his wife lost her hair salon, bitches about stuff and watches it anyway. I mean, I didn't know his wife lost her hair salon. I mean, that sucks. You know what I mean? Like, losing a business is not fun. Let's see here. Wandy asks, where would I rank Black Adam amongst the DCEU films? If we're talking DCEU, so, everything since Man of Steel, I would put it, the bottom for me is Wonder Woman 84. I would put this above Wonder Woman 84. And then everything else above it, right? Like, for me, it's like, it's probably going to be like Man of Steel, Snyder Cut, BVS, Wonder Woman, Shazam, the Suicide Squad, those can be interchangeable, and they might even go higher because I do like those movies quite a bit. Birds of Prey, I'd go probably Black Adam, Birds of Prey, Wonder Woman 84. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It depends on how I feel about Birds of Prey, but there you go. This is your says, all I know is I made YouTube partner way before 2015. Well, they were actually doing that back in like 2009. I think 2009, 2010, they had the partnership program. Very, very early stages. A friend of mine when I moved to LA, was actually a full-time YouTube content creator in 2010. And he was just doing like Mario content back then, but he was able to pay his rent. You know, that was wild to me. I was jealous as fuck. Cause I was like, my God, that's amazing. Let's see. Matt, when season 2 of Rings of Power comes out, I'll be your guide once more. Well, cool. I don't think it's going to take 2 years, H-Parts. I know they said that, but I think they're already filming season 2 right now. COVID, they now know COVID precautions. They can get around that pretty quickly. They've already built the sets. They've already built what they need to do. You know, I think it's going to come faster than 2 years. I do think it's going to come faster than 2 years. Yes, Reed. Black Adam is better than Wonder Woman 1984. Wonder Woman 1984 is fucking terrible. Terrible. I hate it. I can't do it. The Batman is not DCEU. That's the thing, Roman numerals. The Batman is not DCEU. Because that's a whole other world. Like Batman and Joker. I would put, if you were going to look at all DC films since like 2013, you know, I would say the Batman and Joker are up there. Wait, the Batman's up there. Joker's up there, but like not as high. Apparently Gotham Knights is now out. I heard that the story is really good, but the gameplay is shit. So, let's see. All right. H-Bars here says, I don't want Patty Jenkins doing Wonder Woman 3. Zach helped on Wonder Woman 1 and it starts. Oh, right. Aquaman. Aquaman is up there in the list as well. I love Aquaman. I totally forgot about that. It's been a while. But yeah, I agree with H-Barts here. Patty Jenkins botched Wonder Woman 84 real bad. And you can tell Zack Snyder will potential on one I mean, yeah. Or I guess. But let's see. The gameplay for Gotham is server heavy, isn't it? It will die soon. I don't know. I know the Division, I think, is server heavy on that one, and they keep going through these. Barely anyone plays it, and it's like they keep going through these fucking like 3-hour server right when I sit down to play. So Vin Frost here says, funny enough, I haven't seen any of the DCEU movies, but I still enjoy watching you talk about them. Well, thank you. I do want to talk about other movies, by the way, and I need to put a list out there. Like we need to get together a list and talk about this shit because, you know, again, for like, you know, Podio commentary here, I want to have it be a repository for watching more movies. You know, just the last week, I did like Halloween Kills, and then I just did School for Good and Evil today, and then I did Black Adam. Don't mind the thumbnail; it's the only image I thought looked pretty good. I might revisit that one, but anyway, you guys, we need another Red Pill night. Yes, Jess, you're not the only one who wants another Red Pill anime night. We'll do another Red Pill anime night. We'll definitely have to do that. It'll be a lot of fun. So, but what I want though, here's you know, I don't know, you know what I fucking want from that? I want you guys to Red Pill me on anime that's currently streaming so I can actually go and watch some of that shit. That's the biggest problem. That's the biggest problem is I need to do that shit. But anyway, guys, all right, we're coming up on the 1.5 hour mark. A good short stream. A lot of fun conversations tonight. And we'll definitely tomorrow night I will be on. Because I'm not going out driving. I got to babysit the kids, so I'll be home. So maybe we'll do anime tomorrow night. Depending on what goes on. You know, let's see, tons of great horror films to review before the end of Halloween. Oh yeah, maybe we could do a horror movie stream. Look at trailers for horror movies, right? That would be pretty cool. Ooh yeah, let's do that. Let's do fucking horror movie trailers tomorrow night. I know H-Barts is like, Hammer Films. You know, we can do that tomorrow night. It'd be fun. It will be fun. Let's see. Hold on here. What is this in here? Reese Prince's favorite movie. What? I don't know. Recent favorite movie? Horror is fun, but newer horror. Yeah, that's true. Your Name. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere or not. I can get that one. I can get that Re-Experience. Oh, right. Yeah, talk about that. Cause I did that on a Twitter space. But that was fun. We might do more of that shit. Thoughts on I can't wait to see Megan. That's a fuck. That movie's gonna scare the shit out of me. That movie's gonna scare the shit out of me. Can't wait to watch. I don't know what. Something about it's either gonna be really good or really campy. Either way, I'm in. But dude, fucking Chucky frightened the shit out of me as a kid. Fucking frightened the shit out of me as a kid. So it's like Megan looks freaky as fuck. I still need to watch Nope. I haven't seen Nope yet. I haven't seen, maybe I'll make my goal for this next week, Nope and Hellraiser. I can do that. I can do that next week. Maybe tomorrow night because I'll have time. Mandy. I haven't seen Mandy, but I've heard of Mandy. Vin Frost here says, I want that Megan doll. Dude, my first thought when I saw the Megan trailer was like, dude, somebody's going to get one of those and they're just going to turn it into a fucking fleshlight. Like, I could just see this whole deviated section of fucking 4chan coming to light on that one. I do want to watch, but I really do want to see Megan. It looks freaky. Roman numerous says, watch Megalobox. What's that? I don't know what that is. Shining here says, I dug Nope. Ralph said VHS 99. Yep. That's out now on Shudder, you said. This says, Google never paid me for YouTube back then. Well, they owe you some fucking money, dude. Too many of us were scared of Chucky, man. Chucky 2. Chucky, the first 2 Chuckies, man. Chucky 3, not so much, but there are some good kills in Chucky 3. But I do love Bride of Chucky. I saw that in theaters when it dropped back in the late 90s. Who looks scary between the trifecta of Chucky, Annabelle, and Megan? Dude, fucking Megan. Like, Chucky, I mean, Annabelle to me is not scary. I don't know why people find Annabelle scary. I haven't watched the movies, though. Because I remember when the first Annabelle came out, and I saw that it was directed by the guy who did Mortal Kombat Annihilation from 97. I was like, I'm not watching this. I should watch My Hero Academia. TV shows are a little harder to get into. All right. If it's like the movies are a bit easier because it's less of a time investment. And I can watch more of them. Anime television shows are a bit different. So, the last VHS movie I saw was the first one. I've only seen the first one. I haven't seen the other ones, but I do want to. I love anthologies. Let's see here. Never scared of Chucky because Bride of Chucky was your first Child's Play film. I mean, okay, I get that. I do. I first saw Child's Play 2, only part of Child's Play 2, at a video store in my dad's old town of Snoqualmie, Washington, which is just east of Seattle. Back when it was like a nothing town. Now it's gentrified as fuck, but it scared the piss out of me. And it wasn't until many years later where I rented Child's Play. But when I used to work at the theater in LA, and my job was to watch those old movies and make sure the cult films and make sure the prints worked. One of the ones I had to watch was Child's Play. I watched the original Child's Play 35 millimeter print by myself in an auditorium. Fuck, that was so much fun. I also got to watch The Warriors, Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, dude, fucking Evil Dead 2, Candyman, A Hard Day's Night, Back to the Future, Shaun of the Dead. Oh, I'll tell you this, man. Like, I hate that company. I fucking hate Regency Theater so much. But that first 6 months of working at that theater were great. And yes, yeah, that's right. What is it? Chucky season 2 is out. I know that. I haven't seen Chucky season 1. So let's see. The scariest part of Chucky in the first 2 movies was the face Chucky made when he was angry. Yeah, that was great. I haven't seen VHS 2. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I've heard good things about the Chucky TV show, Astra. I've heard really good things about that. I just haven't seen it. Yeah, I don't have times for multiple seasons. I don't. I really don't. Although, what was it? Queen Danny the other day was all like, you should just focus entirely on anime. It's like, you'll make a lot of money just focusing on anime. Whatever. All right, though, guys, my camera is about to die, so I am going to go. Again, guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate everybody. You guys are a lot of fun tonight, talking about The Rock being a bit of a corn star. Oh my God. A couple of good lines tonight, guys. Gush and splooge. Gush and splooge. If you've made it this far, do me a solid and leave that in the comments section so I know. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow night. We'll do a horror movie trailer stream. Find some good shit to watch. And we'll have a good one, everybody. Have yourself a great night. Thank you again. Peace the fuck out.